Okay, today we have something very special. This is a Yokomo Wrench Pit Shop, or RPS Special Edition, converted from what was originally an 834B Dogfighter re-release. That is a mouthful, but I want to tell you a bit of the backstory on this because I think it's pretty interesting. So when I was getting into RC in my early teens back in Toronto in the 1980s, this was a holy grail car. I mean, they were nowhere to be found. And I came across them in the ads in RC Car Action magazine. And of course, they then ran a review one month with a paint job that was kind of similar to this, not exact. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. But Yokomos were rare in Toronto at that time. I actually had an original Dogfighter that I got on a trade. It was in horrible shape and never ran right, so that was a lost cause. And I always, sort of thought it would be so cool to come across one of these. The only time I ever saw one was a kit in a hobby shop in Florida when my parents had taken us on a trip one year. And of course, I couldn't afford it at the time. It was just, you could look on the shelf and kind of dream. So fast forward, Yokomo re-releases the Dogfighter last year. And I joined a Facebook group for 834B lovers, great group. And a guy by the name of Steve was kind of putting feelers out for a conversion kit to this special edition. And he was going to source all the parts, fabricate the parts where he needed to, and allow you to do this. So, a bunch of us were like, count me in, lots of replies. And of course, you never know how it's going to go. You never know who's going to put their money where their mouth is. But fast forward again to just a few weeks ago, when Steve, was ready to start shipping these kits, and I just jumped on one, and it arrived yesterday. I had already pulled all of the parts off of the 834B that you need to kind of lift and shift to make this one. You basically take the drivetrain and the suspension and just plunk it onto the fiberglass chassis here. And then you replace the shocks, of course, with the shock tower that allows you to mount the two rear shocks and the much improved front shock, which are three fan RC10 shocks with some really neat end caps and shock collars. I think they're from No Coast, if I recall. And that gives you that sort of classic look, which is just awesome. So Steve gives you all of these parts in the kit. You get the shocks, the chassis, the bumper, all the hardware that you need to put it together, the body, the wing, and even a decal set, which is super cool. It went together in like an hour in terms of the mechanical build. And then I just spent the whole day today doing this paint job, which turned out reasonably well. I'm not gonna highlight the imperfections, but if you were to look closely, you would see. No, I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. It's just such a cool, iconic car. There's no electronics in it at the moment, but I do have a vintage Trinity stock motor coming from eBay, as well as a Novak speed controller. And then I'll just kind of borrow some radio parts, receiver and servo from another car, and we'll get this thing running. It's just, what a thrill to be able to build one of these, and in present day with such great parts, and everything just went together so well. I'm going to leave Steve's email address in the description below with his permission, and if you want one of these, reach out to him. And of course, you will need an 834B re-release, not an original, a re-release, because all of the whole patterns are designed for the re-release, as a donor car. And you're going to take off, the parts that I described earlier. You put them on this, choose the paint scheme of your choice, and you're good to go. So yeah, so Yokomo RPS Special Edition, for me, one of the coolest, most iconic RC cars ever, and so happy that I was able to build it and add it to the collection.